Is Steve Garvey really within single digits of defeating Adam Schiff in the U.S. Senate race in California? What do the other close contests look like in this state? Coming up, we've got the final polling numbers as we head into the final hours of California's 2024 election, and I'll give you my thoughts on what could be done better and what we're likely to see happen. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California, and there are only hours left in California's 2024 election. I'm encouraging everyone, do not give up hope. Do not spare a single moment. Get out there and hustle, hustle, hustle. Help us turn out common sense voters in this election. It really can make a difference. People think that it's a blue state we live in, that everything is lost. Not true. We have a lot of close contests here, and I'm going to go through some of the closest ones that we have an eye on, as well as give you the updated polling information. But I just want to remind everyone that the best way to turn out a common sense voter is to share the Reform California Plain English Voter Guide. Do it one last time. Text your friends, email your friends, post it on your social media. The web address is electionguidecalifornia.org. That's electionguidecalifornia.org. It gives the plain English description of all the statewide ballot measures. Plus, we reveal where 470 local tax hikes are hidden on the ballots throughout the state of California behind deceptive titles that the politicians have been putting on those tax increases. So get that plain English voter guide. We also make endorsements from top of the ticket all the way down to school board and judge races. So very important to help us spread the word, make voting more easy, combat the efforts to fool voters by politicians putting deceptive titles on the measures. Our ace in the hole, our best weapon to fight back, the plain English voter guide that we've put together in each part of California at Reform California. Go to electionguidecalifornia.org. Now, you can also get your polling stations and locations all at trackmyballot.org, trackmyballot.org. Use that website to look up polling centers for your friends so that they can go and resolve any issue. Remember, you don't even have to be registered to vote at this moment. You can register to vote all the way up to 8 o'clock at night on election night. So no excuse not to vote in this election. It is so very important. So let's get on with the final polling that we've been seeing in some of the closest races across the state of California. For this, I'm going to go to John Neenstadt at Competitive Edge. He does pretty good polling, and he just got out of the field in the past couple days with his final poll in California. And I want to share with you these astoundingly good numbers for Republicans. It demonstrates that there is a hunger and appetite for change in this state. We're not as blue as people think, if these numbers are correct, and I think they are. In the presidential race, you see Donald Trump outperforming his numbers from 2020, and Kamala Harris, even though she's a California-known politician, and this is perhaps why she's not doing very well, she's underperforming what happened in 2020. So the poll shows that at least 52% of the electorate have already cast their ballots. More on that in a moment. It's pretty much on track for Harris to win. But she only has 53% of the vote in this poll. Trump has 38%. And remember, he only got 34% in 2020. And Biden got in the low 60s, 63.5%. So Harris is down 10.5 points from the Biden number. And Trump is already up 4 points from his number in 2020. That means that people have shifted to the right in California. Very remarkable. And not a lot of undecideds, only 4% undecided. So you may see Trump hit 40% in California, which is astounding. Would be a very good number for him. And you're probably going to see Harris in the high 50s, not the low 60s. Again, a dismal showing for what should have been a very strong performance for her. So these are interesting numbers. Now, Steve Garvey put out a press release in the last 24 hours saying that he was within, quote, single digits in the U.S. Senate race against Adam Schiff. Now, I love Steve Garvey. I'm voting for Steve Garvey. I encourage you to vote for Steve Garvey. Adam Schiff is a tool. He is a blank hat. But Garvey did not run a very good campaign. Let's be honest about this. Let's be clear about this. He did not run as good of a campaign as he could have and should have. But notwithstanding that, Neenstat's numbers show that it could be within single digits. Neenstat has Adam Schiff at a paltry 52%. Not very good. And 6% are undecided, and 42% are with Garvey. Now, that's a big improvement from the folks who've run it for Senate back in 2022 and 2020 on the Republican side. Big improvement because they got in the high 30s. Garvey's already in the low 40s. The Democrats always were in the high 50s or at 60% of the vote, usually 60%. He's at the low 50s. This is remarkable. Again, I have always said that Garvey could have won this race, and I still hope he does win the race. But he did not run a very good campaign, but even despite that, he is doing remarkably better than any Republican has in a long time. Both these numbers should give you confidence that voters are indeed waking up. Let's go on to some of the tough races that we've been tracking and fighting on. In September, right after Labor Day at Reform, California, I published a list of the top 10 fights Republicans can and need to win in California in 2024. And let me give you an update on where those are. Prop 5, the battle to save Prop 13 and block tax hikes. Right now, it is razor thin, 50% no and 48% yes. Now, that's a big improvement from where we started in September, so we've been able to move the needle, and I do believe we can defeat Prop 5 and save Prop 13. But it's going to take a lot of work in the last hours of this campaign to get the plain English voter guide into the hands of these voters. Because remember, all these ballot titles are completely misleading, and so our best weapon to get voters on our side is to give them the plain English description of what they're actually voting on, and they usually come and vote with us. Prop 36, make crime illegal again, has about 65 to 70% support. So this is very good. We're very happy about that. Props 2 and 4. Prop 2 looks like it is in danger of losing, and I'm very happy about that. These are boondoggle bonds, $20 billion of borrowing for, basically covering the excessive spending of state politicians. Prop 2 right now is razor thin, toss-up. Prop 4 has a larger lead. It's in the high 50s, but I still think it's possible to defeat Prop 4. So again, that voter guide that we're trying to promote, key to opening up people's eyes around the state of California. Prop 33 and 32 seem to be going down in defeat, although 32 is a little bit closer. Those are two inflation measures. One is a minimum wage increase. The other is rent control. The 470 local tax hikes, we're working really hard to defeat those. I don't have polling on each and every one of them. But as long as voters know that they're voting on a tax increase, they vote no. And that's why that plain English voter guide is key. The 5 House seats that we are trying to defend, razor thin. The House majority is on the line in California. So we're going to be watching those races. All the polling shows it's a toss-up for Michelle Steele, John Duarte, David Valadao, Ken Calvert, Scott Baugh, who's trying to pick up a seat in Orange County, Mike Garcia. It's all toss-up. I mean, literally every vote is going to be precious in the battle to save the U.S. House of Representatives majority for Donald Trump. And that's key because I think Donald Trump's going to win. I think he's going to win, and he's going to be the comfortable winner in the Electoral College. It'd be a damn shame if California cost him the House majority. So get out and vote. We do matter in California. And finally, the state legislative seats. We've got a number of target seats. I'm just going to talk about 2 of them, and of course my own. 76 and 36. Sadly, because Republicans engaged in too much infighting and they're incompetent, they have not done a very good job in the seats that we could win to break the Democrats' supermajority. It is a damn shame. It's incompetence, and the people behind it need to be held accountable. And we never need to trust them or work with them again. They are done. More on that after the election. There is a day of reckoning for the Republican Party of California swamp that needs to be literally cleaned out entirely. But I do believe that Christy Bruce Lane and Jeff Gonzalez still have a chance to win. They would have been able to be much better positioned had the Republican Party not kneecapped them and not, performed. But we are going to continue to hold out hope that they're going to prevail. I think Christie's got a great shot. Jeff Gonzalez is a wonderful candidate. He's got a bright future, but the Republican Party pulled funding from him 2 weeks ago. It's kind of hard to win a seat when the left has so many more resources than the right, and your own party kneecaps you. In my district, a bunch of Republican money is pouring in against me. And that Republican money is not grassroots money. No. It's swampy, open borders, business establishment. Yes, the lobbyists, the labor unions, and the Democrats are up against me in my race in the 75th. They've spent over $2 million in the month of October trying to trash me. But my voters see through the lies, and I think we will prevail. So those are the updated numbers as we head into the last hours of this campaign. Get out and vote. Share the Reform California voter guide at Election Guide California. And yes, we are still needing resources, so chip in a contribution at reformcalifornia.org, reformcalifornia.org. I'll be back tomorrow to give you a sense of the ballot returns as well as analysis on all the key races. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.